Hey everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for coming out. My name is Janelle Riley. I am an editor at Variety, and I am so thrilled to be here tonight with you all to celebrate this love letter of a film. Please join me in welcoming two of the film stars. Of course, you'll recognize them as Anna Bates and Tom Branson. We have actors Joanne Froggatt and Alan Leech. Did people not know they were going to be here? Like, I'm hearing, oh my gods. So.
Good evening. Hi.
Well,
we actually just came here for a game of tennis, and it's ruined now.
Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations. It's been 15 years since this show premiered. I was realizing that the other day.
Yeah. 15 years.
Wow.
I know. It's mind-blowing for us, isn't it?
It is, and weirdly feels more so now as we come to the end of the press tour to reflect and look back. And 15 years of great memories, I have to say, and an incredible journey.
I am curious, looking back all these years later, what do you sort of think is the secret to its enduring appeal and, worldwide appeal?
Cue your Julian Fellows impression.
Oh, please.
Well, the thing is, no, I think Julian writes from a place of good for every character. Yeah. And I think there is something very warming and quite unique, especially with what we're watching these days, when you actually find that he says that he writes from a place of good. Whilst sometimes we do things that are wrong, ultimately we're always trying to do good. And I think that is very human, very relatable. And I think the essence of that follows through with every character and therefore within the whole story.
And I have, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I've got my microphone caught, thank you. Also, it's one of those rare shows that you can watch with generations of your family, and it's a very much a sort of communal experience, I think, Downton. And we often get viewers coming to speak to us and saying, we watch it as a group of friends, or you're either your chosen family or your blood family, and I think that's really beautiful. There's not a lot of shows that you can do that with.
I'm curious if there was a moment you sort of realized this show had become so popular and was in the zeitgeist, especially here in America.
Yeah, we kind of got reports back. It felt like being in the war. We'd be on set and you'd be like, did you hear? Did you hear? It's gone very well in America. You're like, oh, great. And then around Europe. And I think when I think you might have gone for the first press tour in America. And it was whilst we were filming the second season. And they came back saucer-eyed going, no, they love it. They really love it. And I think that was the first kind of sense of, oh, wow, we're not just part of a British drama being watched by a British audience.
Yeah. Michelle Dockery, who obviously plays Lady Mary, and I, we actually flew ourselves out for the first Emmy Awards that the show was nominated for. And Michelle and I went as the producer and directors plus ones, and we styled ourselves and we styled each other and we swapped clothes. And I remember us being sat quite far at the back, and then we won all these awards and we got to go up on stage. And Elizabeth McGovern, obviously, you all know and love, as we do, was nominated personally. I remember saying to Michelle, oh my goodness, Elizabeth sat at the front. I wonder what that feels like, to the nerves and the excitement to have a personal nomination. And then cut to a year later, and Michelle and I were both nominated. And then I was like, just the change that happened in that year. And as Alan said, we came back just kind of eyes like saucers and full of the joy of it all, yeah.
And better seats at the theater, I'm
and better
sure.
seats.
Yes. Because the Downton fans are, very passionate and very smart. What is it like in the UK? Can you go out on the street? Are you politely mobbed by the Brits?
Rod James Collier, who plays Thomas Barrow, said it quite brilliantly. He said, in America, people will spot you and they will cross lanes of traffic, nearly get killed to tell you how much they love the show. And in the UK, someone will spot you and they will cross lanes of traffic, try and get killed to tell you they don't watch it. And I think that's quite right.
What is that about? I recognize you, but only from the show.
But I wouldn't give you the satisfaction of letting you know that. Yeah.
Also, him in particular, I think if I saw him, I might go the other way.
Yeah. So do we. No, he's
very nice in real life.
Yes.
Very funny.
I've always said that I think you have to find the nicest people to play kind of the most dubious characters.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
But then you two play two of the nicest characters. So what does that say about you?
Don't have us around for dinner. That's all I'm saying. No, it's nice to. It's lovely to play the variety, isn't it, as an actor? And it's like I loved playing Anna. I loved going back to her. I loved revisiting her. She was the ultimate best friend, you know. But it's also really fun to play the villain.
Yeah.
And so both are good. Both are good.
Well, you've gotten to do that.
I've done it a couple of times, yeah, which is really nice. And especially when you're known for something and known as a character who people either root for or really love. And then when you get to do a turn, people are like, I can't believe that was you. And you're like, yeah. So Bohemian Rhapsody is a great example of that.
No. I actually saw you during Bohemian Rhapsody, and I knew you were a nice person, but I had this like visceral reaction for a split second.
I
was
remember
like,
that.
Acting.
Yeah.
You probably got that a lot.
I did get a lot. It felt, especially on the press tour for that, I felt like the fifth Beatle, you know, because everyone's loving everyone who was part of the band and Rami as Freddie. And then they're like, oh, you. Yeah.
But then you can go back and be Tom and be perfect and lovable.
I know, exactly.
You do play two of the most beloved characters on the series. I'm sort of curious. I don't know how it works over there, but did you get, a description of the characters? Did you get the scripts? What did you sort of know about Tom and Anna coming into the show?
I read the very first episode and the first script and was asked to audition for Anna. And I remember, because that was in the day where I used to get a physical hard copy script sent to the door. There was nothing
Myself
on email.
and Joanne are showing our age now.
I know. I mean, that is how long ago. It was
Pre-email.
16 years ago. And they still, because it was very top secret, they sent the hard copy script to the door. So I remember I was trying to leave the house for something, I don't know, run some errands or something. And I just sat there and I thought, I'll just have a little look at the first couple of pages. And then I just sat and I just read the whole thing. I couldn't put it down. And Anna was, look, Julian really did an amazing job of sort of giving us the clues of where he wanted us to go with these characters. And Julian said himself that as we developed as a cast and as the stories developed, he watched everything, he watched the rushes, and he obviously watched the seasons and started to write to our strengths and started to kind of interact with those characters in his writer's mind and take us on our journeys. But I knew that Anna was a good character. She was, the heart of the downstairs cast kind of thing, and she was one of those, as Alan said, characters that is, she has the courage of her convictions, and I wanted the courage to be the operative word. I wanted her to, I think it does take courage to be a good person and to be able to stand by your values. I think often, the nice characters are depicted as weak or sweet, or, I didn't want her to be that. I wanted her to be strong, but, your favourite best friend.
Yeah. And I actually think it's a big acting challenge to play someone who is nice and good and, not bore us. That's something that I love about this show.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you came in, I believe, on the 4th episode. Was it already fairly established? Did you know what you were stepping into?
I had no idea. Apart from the names that came through, again, it got couriered out, to the house, and then the cover sheet they had on it, and it started with Dame Maggie Smith, and you're like, wow. And then Hugh Bonneville, whoa, Elizabeth McGovern. And it goes through everyone who was in it. And originally the character was from Yorkshire. He wasn't Irish. And Julian Fellows had the idea to include the Irish story, because he said at the time, in all the newspapers, it wouldn't have been world affairs. It would have been what was happening very locally and colloquially. And that happened to be what was happening with Ireland striving for independence. So he said, let's include that story.
Say locally, colloquially again.
Locally, colloquially. I can't even do it. Yeah.
Sounds much better with the accent,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. You get away with a lot with this accent.
And legend is that you were just supposed to have a short arc on the series. Is that true?
3 episodes. Wow. Yeah. And again, as Joanne said, that Julian was an actor before he was a writer. And he does, as he was watching all the rushes, the original Bible said that Sybil was supposed to end up with Matthew.
What?
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Scandal.
This is news to me.
Yeah, no, we found it. Myself, Dan Stevens, Michelle, and Jess Brown Finley. This is terrible. I can't believe I'm finally admitting this. We broke into Julian Fellows' trailer.
What?
Very early on, and we found the original Bible.
What?
3-season Bible.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, and that was the thing that really stood out for us, was the fact that, it was Sybil and Matthew were going to end up together. And that was kind of continued in the second season when she hits her head and gets knocked unconscious at the rally. You know, Matthew's the savior in a way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Who were you? You could have ended up with Mary. I mean, there's still time.
I think they were just going to get rid of the chauffeur, to be honest. But thankfully, Julian didn't and kept me on. And he had many chances to get rid of Tom, and he kept him. And I'm very grateful for that.
Much like the Crawleys, he can't quite get rid of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, this is a show that literally doesn't work without the right cast, and every single role in the ensemble is spectacular. I don't think it's any coincidence you've won multiple SAG awards for the ensemble. The chemistry with your co-stars, was that fairly organic when you showed up? Was it right away, or did it come from, as these characters are getting to know each other?
I think it's a testament to Jill Trevelyan, our casting director, as well. She not only was she casting the show, but she was also trying to create that ensemble. And personally, I feel the reason we're still here 15 years later is there was no ego. That would have had to start with Maggie, and she doesn't have one. She cut her teeth in theatre, and therefore she was always part of the ensemble, and everyone was always welcomed in, and anyone who's joined the cast, just like I did, was immediately welcomed with open arms and was so warm. And I think that's one of the reasons.
Okay, but the first time you met her, did you make eye contact? Did you
I was petrified. One of the first things I did was drive her down the lane up to the house, and she sat in the back, and then of course, because it's a film set, they're like, great, Alan, this is a car you've never seen, handbrakes on the outside, don't touch the clutch, and go as fast as you can, and then stop on that tiny little piece of tape. Thanks very much. Oh, by the way, Dame Maggie Smith's in the back. I didn't get it right the first time. I handbrake turned a 1910 Renault with her in the back, and she, of course, was like, and they said, okay, Alan, back to ones, and I get a tap with the cane, and it was Maggie, and she said, I think I'll get out first.
Wait a minute, you do Julian and Maggie. Is there anyone else on the
He
show
does
you imitate?
everyone.
Oh my God! Okay, give us your Brendan.
Oh, do you do Brendan? You
I have to. With the Downton cast, I got to be very careful because I would like to see them again.
You don't do it to their faces.
No, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. But I haven't seen Brendan in a while, so it wouldn't be fair.
What about for you? What was it like the first time stepping onto this set and meeting your amazing co-stars?
It was incredible. I remember, I can't remember the first scene I shot, but I remember my first day on set so vividly because I was been in the UK we get driven to work. I think mainly because they don't trust us to get there on time. But we usually have a team of drivers on any TV job that drives you in, and we have this wonderful driver that we lovingly named Big Kev. And Big Kev had driven me on jobs many years before, so I'd known Kev for a good few years already. And we drove up to Highclere Castle, and you can't see the castle as you drive into the grounds, and you just come down this lane and you come up the brow of this small hill, and it just elevates and appears in front of you like magic. It's so majestic and magical. And I just went, wow, that's pretty cool, isn't it, Kev? And he was like, yeah. And I said, well, I think this could be really good. There's Maggie Smith, there's Julian Fellows, there's 3 Oscars attached, fantastic cast, look at this location. And I said, but I'm the kiss of death. I only ever do 1 season of anything. And thank goodness I was very, very wrong.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. You were the exception to the rule.
Important to say that Big Kev, was on season 1 all the way through to this last movie as well.
Yay,
every year.
That's so amazing. By the way, for this movie, did you always know you'd be coming back for a third? Because I've heard conflicting reports. It seems like you were going to, but what did you know?
We didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've said goodbye to each other as cast about 76 times, so it's kind of strange. We really didn't know that this one would happen. No.
Really? Do you just wait to get? I don't know if Sir Julian Fellows emails or texts, or if he calls you and tells you that it's happening again.
Well, a cast of 22, rumors start. Agents have been in touch, and suddenly that goes through a certain amount of people, and then it becomes a game of telephone, and suddenly we're starting Tuesday, which is no. But so I think it all kind of trickles out slowly to the cast.
Well, does he give you any hint as to what your storyline will be? I know you are all about to see the movie, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But what did you know coming into this film?
No, actually, I did have a hand in my storyline in this film because I was pregnant. So so Anna is pregnant, and I don't think that's a spoiler because I'm very pregnant on the posters. But yeah, so for this is the only one that I had a hand in. So, but other than that, we just read it when we get the scripts, don't we? Yeah.
I think we get sent the script all at the same time,
Right.
and then yeah.
But it's not couriered anymore.
No.
Okay.
I actually get mine through Telegram, so it took a month and a half.
This show, I mean, obviously it deals with some very serious material, but it's very entertaining and it's very funny in places. I'm sort of curious what the atmosphere on set is like. Is it as fun as like we all suspect it is?
Yes.
Yeah. It really is. It is. And, you know, on any film, you have a lot of downtime. And we have some incredible memories over 15 years of those stories. And oftentimes in the green room, our favorite thing was when we were all together. So big ensemble pieces, be it a wedding or, you know, a fair or something that we can all be at. And then the stories that happen around there, around those chairs as we were waiting. And then you just feel so sorry for all the team, the ADs, everyone who has to try and wrangle 22 actors as they're trying to finish their part of a story. You know? Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Who is I tend to think you're all over there in the UK and you're very, very serious all the time. But is there anyone who like breaks the most on set, or?
I think all of us. I think again, as Alan said, Jill Trefelick, our amazing casting director, put together such a great group of people, and I think I speak for all of us when we take the work very seriously, but none of us take ourselves too seriously. And as Alan said, you know, filming can be a tedious day on certain days, and when you have got a big ensemble cast, you know, those big group scenes, some of you don't have any lines, or you might have, you know, one line each round a dinner table that takes all day to film. And if you do take the downtime too seriously, they are long days. So, you know, there are so many times I've been in tears laughing around the servants' hall table, or, like you say, just in awe listening to Dame Maggie Smith telling us about working with Olivier. Or, you know, just these such magical moments. And I was doing obviously we've been doing a lot of press the last couple of weeks, and I've been with Michelle and Laura, and I said it's wonderful to think that Maggie regaled us with her stories of working with Olivier, and when we're Maggie's age, we'll be able to regale younger actors with our stories of working with Dame Maggie Smith.
Yeah. What does Dame Maggie Smith sound like when she talks about working with Olivier?
Exactly like she does in the show. Those days when they are long, Hugh Bonneville created a game that I think I was the only other person that was in this game. But what he would do is he would look at his lines, obviously, the night before and think, how can I make Alan laugh? And he would change a word in his line, but then deliver it like completely and utterly as he would as his character. And he would tell me just before the take. And my most favourite one is he walks up to me and this is what he always said. He said, of course, in Downton, whatever the word is means whatever. So he walked up this day and he said, of course, in Downton, politics means nipples. And I was just stunned. And they went, and action. And he walks in and he goes, Tom, Sybil tells me your politics are hardening.
But he probably said it with such gravitas.
He did, and I
Yes.
just lost it. And then any time he came near me, he'd just be looking at me, and then he'd look down at my chest and go, Yeah, I'm amazed that it's in it. The line is there, but bizarrely. Right. Yeah, it's very funny.
That's amazing. So you're all going to get to see this wonderful film right now, and you'll have to try and see if you can see where people are shaking from laughter.
Yeah. Not in this one. Do you know what? Weirdly, there was a real sense on set that we knew it was the last one. So.
Well,
You say
gravitas,
that,
wasn't there?
but is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
When
think. Look,
Julian writes grand finale, it's
yeah, that's not to say there couldn't be a spin-off, as in like a prequel or whatever. But
Or
where
the Bateses.
Oh, Anna Bates Investigates.
Yes.
Or of course, the Bates Motel is just waiting to be,
it was right there.
snapped up, as if no one's ever done that before. But no, I think for us as a cast, and us as actors,
Yeah.
we won't be playing these roles anymore.
but the house still stands.
The house
So
still stands.
It may have many stories still to tell.
Well, that's a little melancholy, but you went out on such a high note. It is such
Sorry,
a special
guys.
film. I'm going to stop bragging because now you get to see it yourselves. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone watching us. Enjoy
Thank you
the
very
film.
much. Yeah, I
Thank
hope
you
you
very
enjoy
much.
it. Thank you.
Thank you all.